Hi everyone, it's Anja here. I'm back with another video for Ophelia Crafts, and today, yes, we are talking about the new in colours, and they are here finally. I've been waiting so long for them, and I've been wanting to start using them, so I am just going to show you how I organise them, because obviously, you know, you've got your stash already, you know, you've got ink pads, you've got paper, and all of a sudden you've got new colours, new paper. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to organise it? So first of all, I've got the ink pads, and I take one of these with a Stanley knife. I take it off and I place it on there. Then when I open it up, I make sure that I see the label towards me so you can see the colour. Now, the thing is, it's not enough to just look at your ink pads because they're all dark in the beginning and you won't be able to see the difference. So do make sure you put your label on. Now, you have got more than one label, obviously. There's more labels. So what you can do is, once it's open, I've seen some people put labels in here, on the side here, so or on these sides here, so that you can actually see it much better when it's open as well, not just on one side. But that's just me. I just like the one label on there, and then it's nice and tidy, and I've done that with all of my stamp sets. As you know, I always buy the re-inker. Now, I have my re-inkers in a box, so I look at them from the top. So it's handy for me to have an identification of the bottle at the top. So what have I done? It's a bit awkward at the moment because the little tops of the bottles, oh my word, of the bottles have changed. So I use the punch here, and I punch out from the same colour. I punch out a little circle and I add it to the top of the bottle. I think actually I've been using this one, but I think actually just a standard hole punch would be the right size. But for me, this is good enough, as long as it just, as long as it stays on there and it identifies the color, that's fine. Okay, so I'm not too worried about if they fall off. I just glue them back on. Okay, so that's the ink pads and the re-inkers. Then you have all the paper. So I ordered all the paper, and I opened up all my packs. I'm going to show you how I keep all my paper in a moment when I've told you all about this, because I need a lot of space. And the first page I get out of the pack, that's the one I use to punch out things. So I've been doing things, and I cut out half a page. The rest is being used for other things. But for now, these are my punch out pages. So anything that needs punching out, I'll do it from this page, so you're not using more than one page. Also, you need to make yourself your sponges. And the way I do that is I punch out, no, not this sponge, it's this one, the large oval punch. I use a large oval punch to punch out, as you can see, from each colour. I've punched it out, okay? And I then attach it to the sponge. Now, this was one sponge, so I've cut one sponge into 5. This is just a stapler that I have. And this time, sometimes I'll put the initials on, but I think these ones are quite clearly which colours they are. And also I'll have them out for a while before I actually put them in my drawer with all the other colours that I have over here. Okay, better keep that drawer closed. Okay, so that makes that you have a sponge for each colour. Okay, like that. Now, how do I organise my paper? Because obviously, you have to get on, easy access, and it needs to be, stored flat almost. So I have these really cheap plastic folders from the pound shop. I buy them, or whichever shop it is in your local area that costs £1 basically. And what I've done As you've noticed, I've also here punched out the stamped image. And so each little tab here has one of those glued on with double-sided tape, and then I've put my paper in, and that's how I do it. So now at the moment I'm actually working, so I have these on the desk with me because I'm cutting out and I'm doing things. But if I didn't, or actually let's do it, I always put it back. I always put it back in here. So whenever I'm crafting and I need a whole sheet, I'll just take it out, obviously. But if I need a little bit, I always go down with my hand and feel what's here, and I can feel that. So I am very disciplined, or I try to be. You have to be, because otherwise you have paper everywhere. Each time I've used my paper, or I've used a bit of paper, I go back into it, goes back into the color. So I don't have a drawer with lots of little bits of all kinds of color. I put them in here with the things, you know, with the full sheets. And so when you're looking for something, I just go in and I have you know, the sheets here. For example, here there's the green, the rest of that other sheet, and this is a card base, but that goes in there as well when I'm finished crafting. Okay, so I don't waste it, and I leave it in there. And sometimes I will even, if I'm not too sure what I'm making, I'll even just look in my folders, because I have this so these are the in colors, the new in colors, but I have one for all the color families and for the other in colors as well. And sometimes if what I was saying was, sometimes if I don't know what I'm doing, or if I have no inspiration, I'll just look through my folders and see if there is a card already cut, and then I'll take that as my starting point, which really is a good way to do it, because you're using up your stash that you've already cut up. So yeah, so I hope this is hopeful. I hope this is useful for you. Yeah, this is the way I like to organize my colors. This is how I like to do my sponges, my refillers, and my ink pads, because I think, you know, once you're organized like this, it's so much easier to find everything. My ink pads just go in a stash on the side here. My re-inkers will go in the box with all the others, and I'll find them easily. And these, yes, well, in that drawer eventually. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.